after perhaps the most dominant playoff victory ever in the history of this channel, could potentially be the case. We are back. The Chicago Blackhawks are in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It has been a long time, if ever, that we have seen that much of a whooping. Because again, that was tremendous. And it's going to be very difficult to match the bar, the expectations set for this team after that first round. But if any team, I think, could match that expectation, looks like this team could indeed be it. Again, you would have seen these stats, but we'll scroll through them again quickly. Alex DeBrincat, a dominant performance from Kirby Dach. Braden Point, the ultimate dish machine. I mean, this team has been spectacular. And, of course, my boy, Mackenzie and also defensively, it's been tremendous. I mean, this team, just in general, as you would expect, these stats are very much indicative of how good of a series that was. Now, Mackenzie Blackwood, hit or miss, but thankfully walks away with a win in all 4 games. We'll see what he's capable of today. There's really not that much of a talking point before this series, gets underway. We'll, of course, take a look at the Wild lineup, but it really is just a matter of what version of our team is going to show up today. And if it is the same version that showed up against St. Louis, then I think we're good to go. One thing I want to mention, though, before we get into looking at this Minnesota lineup, technically now, if we did say that we wanted to carry over vetoes, I think we had one left over from last year that I held on to just in case. Technically, we've earned another trade veto to block Mike from at least one attempt of trying to trade away a top-notch player. Let me know. Do they carry over? Or if I don't use them, then that is what it is. You had it in your back pocket just in case kind of thing. Let me know down in the comments. This is the team, oh boy, okay, that we are up against. Start off with Kirill Kaprizov. A lot of penalty minutes, 5 points in 6 games, but the problem is, he scored 64 goals in the regular season. He has 204 goals in 326 games, which is pure insanity. Centered by Alex Galchenyuk, who struggled quite a bit, actually, in that first round, and Kevin Fiala. So a top line that's capable of putting up points, but they weren't exactly firing on all cylinders in that first round matchup. Second line, Jordan Greenway he has 4 goals in 6 games. Of course, a third liner playing like a 90 right now due to morale. Ryan Donato there as well, pretty good first round, a couple of penalties. And Dmitry Sokolov didn't do much, but he wasn't exactly a detriment to his team. Matt Boldy, 7 points in 6 games, centered by Luke Kunin and Adrian Kempe. So that third line did pretty well. Fourth line of Austin Wagner, the little LA connection there. Trent Frederick and Zach Parise. So it's not a bad team. It's a pretty well-rounded team, actually. Quite a few capable players offensively. The defense, it doesn't get any easier for us, though, unfortunately. Will Butcher, 6 points in 6 games, a +7 alongside Matt Dumba. Second pairing of Kalen Addison and Jared Spurgeon. Third pairing of Ryan Murray and Brennan Manel. The goaltender is Jordan Binnington. 904 save percentage. Craig Anderson, the secondary option at 42 years old. Connor Murphy, Adam Beckman, and Joel Erikssonek. Joel Erikssonek is a healthy scratch as well. So all in all, not a bad team. In terms of how the overalls match up, I would presume that they have a better defense, but we have to have the better offense. Indeed. So there you go. 196, 88 to 87. I mean, it's going to come down to our offense, right? I mean, the rest of the matchup is pretty close. It's just going to come down to whether or not our offense can perform at as high of a level as they did in that first round. Let's not waste any more time. Let's do this. Second round, Minnesota. Let's get this underway. Let's see what we can do. First period of game 1, and the Wild jump off to the early lead. Matt Dumba, 17 minutes in on the dot. They absolutely crushed us. Also 20:01 on the score clock. Interesting. 16 shots to 5. They absolutely dominated us. That is shocking given how potent our offense was in that first round. But we did have slow starts in the last round, and we overcame them. Second period, not the case this time. Minnesota is handling us. I mean, Mackenzie Blackwood's keeping us in this. 26 shots to 12. We're down 1-0. We go to the third period, being shut down by Jordan Binnington. This Wild defense, they waste a power play. We get a chance of our own that also goes to waste. Where's our team? Excuse me. Where's our team? Power play chance goes to waste. There is no way we're going to get shut out in game one, is there? After that impressive of a performance, Kirill Kaprizov ices it. Wow. 34 shots to 24. A 2-0 lead. A 2-0 victory. Jordan Binnington and this Wild defense shut us out in game one. That is shocking. Legitimately shocking. Mackenzie Blackwood did such a great job. If we were to have lost game one, I mean, I would have expected, no offense, but I would have expected that it would have been Mackenzie Blackwood, who just had a rough game. Not that somehow we wouldn't put up a single point. Or a single goal, I should say. We'll jump into game two. I'm not going to be overly reactionary, but needless to say now, there is some doubt surrounding this team. Let's see if they can, let's see if they can prove that to be a bit of a fluke. First period, through 4 periods of play, the Blackhawks do not have a goal. After scoring, 23 in 4 games in the first round? Astonishing. Second period, 5 periods of play. No goals. 13 shots through 2 periods. We go to the third. Thankfully, it's still scoreless. This is unbelievable. We need this next goal desperately. Power play for Minnesota goes to waste. So we approach the halfway point of the third. Power play for the Hawks. 5-on-3. And oh my God, how did we not score? Our power play was outstanding in the first round. We're going to overtime, still without a goal in this game. 28 shots to 20. We have gone through 6 periods of play without scoring a goal on Jordan Binnington. I shudder to think what will happen here if we don't win in this overtime. We need this so badly just to prove that we can get a goddamn puck past him. I mean, we might be destined for double OT, maybe not. They still have the shot edge power play. Please, we waste another chance. Power play for the Wild. They survived that. We killed it off. Are we going to double overtime? Yes, we are. I am not a man of few words, but I am legitimately stunned by what we are seeing here. This is... wow. Okay. Here we go. Double overtime. I'm not going to jump into it. We're just going to watch it from here. You know how this works. If you are a longtime viewer, don't blink. You will miss it. This is guaranteed to end within moments. Who's going to win game 2? The answer is the Minnesota Wild. Matt Dumba on the power play. Back-to-back shutouts for Jordan Binnington, yet neither time was he the first star because Mackenzie Blackwood's doing everything he can to keep us in this. This team has just disappeared. You see the 3 straight penalties there that we could not take advantage of. It was Brandon Dillon's penalty, I believe, that cost us at the end. I am stunned. I have never seen this drastic of a turn. 23 goals in 4 games. No goals through 2. Being outscored 3-0. What do you even do? At this point, do you stick with the team and hope that it's the home team curse? Or do you look to change it up? We're going to stick with this team for one more game, but, I mean, man, if we lose this third game, something has to change. Let's see what happens. Mackenzie's been so good for us, but we need a win. We need a goal. First period, And finally, the offense shows up. Kaprizov gets the opening goal. Eakin and Fitzgerald are finally able to break through. 15 shots apiece. But Casey Fitzgerald has the difference maker thus far. Second period. And again, 2-1. Kunin gets a shorthanded goal to tie it up. Kane on the power play. Casey Fitzgerald again. Huge game for him. We're up by 2. Heading into the third period in what looks like could be the beginning of the home team curse. Because right now, neither one of us, when we've had home ice advantage, have been able to take advantage of it. Ryan Pulock with the goal. It is 5-2. We're making up for lost time, thank God. Nearly 40 shots in this game. We've been held shotless for like the past 8 minutes, though. Well, we went like the last 8 or 9 minutes without a shot, but thankfully the damage was already done. 5-2 victory. In Game 3, we're back in this series. Another strong effort from Mackenzie Blackwood. Great games from Casey Fitzgerald and Ned Eakin. The addition, of course, from Montreal. Huge game for Eakin there with the 3 points. And DeBrincat, Kane, Strome, not great. Not great from a defensive standpoint, but at the very least, we're back in this. Game 4 is going to be that much more interesting because it comes down to either the home team's going to be losing or we're down 3-1 in this series. I am going to keep this team the same, and we're going to see what happens. Because this team is set up about as perfectly and is optimized about as well as it can be. It's just a matter of them getting results. First period, Game 4, scoreless, which absolutely benefits Minnesota. 14 shots to 6. Second period, scoreless again. 28 shots to 16. And we are absolutely in trouble here as we begin the third period of play. We need a goal so badly. The shots right now, we're struggling. Jared Spurgeon scores. Oh my God. What are we going to do here? Power play, please. It goes to waste. This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. No pun intended, actually. Sorry for that. Matt Dumba, the empty netter. The Minnesota Wild have a 3-1 series lead. Third shutout of the series through 4 games for Jordan Binnington. And we now face elimination. I mean, I don't want to start writing the obituary just yet because we might be able to dig ourselves out of this, but again, just to confirm, 23 goals through 4 games. We have 5 goals through 3 and have been shut out, or 5 goals through 4 and have been shut out 3 times. 23 goals, 5. I have never seen an offense disappear like this, ever, in any NHL game or any series we've ever had on this channel over the years. Pittsburgh completes the sweep. They're moving on. They'll play the winner of Buffalo, Philly. Anaheim and Colorado are tied at 2 apiece, as we will be fighting for our lives in Game 5 on home ice, and obviously things need to change. The obvious thing to do is to drop Dylan Strome. Nylander hasn't done much. Fost hasn't done much. I'm going to put Taves on that second line. And I like Jesper Fost. He hasn't exactly been a negative, but I can't help but wonder, like, okay, is there somebody else? Is there somebody else who could potentially step in just to get different names and faces into this lineup? Alex Fortin, obviously, a possibility. Just to double check this here. All right. Let's see what we have. Kayumov. Could work. I can certainly see why he's a sniper. And that would actually be perfect to have him replace Fost. Actually, we have as a playmaker. Not that we couldn't change Nylander over. But then again, now they're with Strome. Kayumov could work. Altai Barmakian could work. Nordgren, it's either Kayumov or Altai Barmakian. Neither really has room to grow at this point. And then I don't even know what the hell I was going to check. I can't believe I'm even having to do this. I can't believe it. I was going to check Fortin. That's what I was going to do. I mean, we're obviously grasping at straws here now just to, desperately find a way back. Fortin's out. And we're going to take Fost out. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter if I piss him off. I don't really care. It's either Kayumov or Altai Barmakian. And I'm going to go with Kayumov. We're going to give him a chance. And then defensively, I'm probably going to give Justin Hall a chance. So, yeah, Fost is going to be pissed off about being sent down. I don't really care. And at this point, it's just pure desperation. So we go over to this side here. And didn't mean to go to center. Left wings, Kayumov will be in. We're going to put him on the left, have Nylander on the right. And then defensively, just to get a different look, we're going to give Justin Hall an opportunity on this team. Could have been Siegenthaler, could have been Dennis Gilbert, who we've seen at times. But I think I want to go with Justin Hall. We have a lot of righty shots in this line. You know what? I'm actually going to swap out Hall for Gilbert. Doesn't necessarily matter. I don't know. But it's what we're doing. So sorry to Brendan Smith. I might as well just send you down for the moment. At least get you into the AHL, even though they're out. So I'm going to be pissed about being sent down. I was so happy when he scored a goal last round, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Let's get Dennis Gilbert in there. Go best lines. I mean, the power play. Swap these two just to get a different look. And then the four-man power play, unfortunately, isn't looking that good. And you know why? It's because of that right there, primarily. I would assume. There we go. Let's go with that. Our season's on the line. We are down 3-1. Can we survive? One game at a time. Let's find out. First period, and a damn good start. Nylander, Entwistle, and Nosek, the bottom six, chipping in. Boldy gets one back, 15 shots to 4. That is exactly the kind of dominating performance you would expect. Second period, we blew it, but Kirby Dach has the difference maker. Sokolov and Frederick tied it, 2 goals in just over a minute. But again, Dach has the difference maker right now, 4-3. Blackwood struggling at the worst time, 27 shots to 14 in a 4-3 game. As we go to the third period, early power play for the Wild killed off. We need an insurance goal desperately just to take the pressure off of keeping our season alive. We're halfway through the third period. At this point, you're going to wonder, can we hold on? If this goes to overtime, I don't like our chances. Under 2 minutes left. And Alex DeBrincat with the empty netter at least helps us live to see another day. Thank God for that. Because it wasn't looking too good there for a little bit. But we do survive. Game 6 in Minnesota will be happening. As one way or another, the changes to the team, whether or not they really helped or not, doesn't really matter. We get the win that we desperately needed. DeBrincat, Quenneville, Dach, big games there. Entwistle as well. Taves, Eakin, and Point, not great. And, I mean, again, Blackwood wasn't great either. But it was enough to hold on and, again, live to fight another day. Game 6 in Minnesota coming up. I'm a little bit worried, though, still about the top 6. I got to be honest. Eakin and Point haven't been great. I'm going to make this change. Eakin, Dach, DeBrincat, Kane, Taves, Point. Let's do it. Game 6. Season on the line, series on the line. Must win. Otherwise, we are facing down the barrel of another Millbury takeover. First period. And a big start for Chicago. Nylander and Kayumov, the third line, getting it done. We were outshot ever so slightly. We have the lead. Second period. Oh my God. Game 7 in Chicago, barring the worst collapse this side of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Eakin and Doc on the power play. Pulock and Quenneville. Parise finally gets one on the board after 6 unanswered goals from Chicago to start this game. We are just 15 minutes away from forcing Game 7. Eakin makes it 7. Power play opportunity. They brought in Craig Anderson at this point. We needed to take it one win at a time after being down 3-1, and that has led us to Game 7 off the back of a 7-1 victory. A huge performance from this team all around. Blackwood was great. The goal scorers stepped up like we needed them to. That's the type of performance you're looking for. Just 6 players without a point. 3 of them being defensemen. 1 of them being a fourth liner and Entwistle. And Mackenzie Blackwood was phenomenal. Mackenzie Blackwood has, for the most part in this series, been spectacular. And because of that, we somehow managed to battle back. Game 7 is happening, outscoring them 12-4 over the last 2 games. And I just want to, again, give a special shout-out to Blackwood here. He's been fantastic. And I think the answer of, like, should we give him a contract? Probably. And if Mike signs anybody from there, so be it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not losing control of this team just yet. Because officially, we haven't. We still have a shot at keeping everything in order. Just a matter of whether or not that happens. And I am going to go for a big-time risk here with this move. But I have confidence in it. It's going to be Kayumov, Point, and Kane on that second line now. Strome, Taves, Nylander. That top 9 is insane. Kayumov included, I hope. As I just struggle to clear my throat here, but I gotta be honest. Wow, Dennis Gilbert's been spectacular. It's just more out of pure disbelief. But we've battled back. Game 7. As, you know, Anaheim and Colorado face the same situation. Let's do this. A win, and we go to the Western Conference Final. A loss, and we have some decisions to make quickly before we lose control of this team. First period, and a tremendous start for Chicago. Dylan Strome, Patrick Kane, Ned Eakin, 3 of the big players on this team. 3 big goals. We were outshot, but that was a tremendous start. And the wall of Binnington crumbling before us. Second period, they get one back. Matt Boldy on the power play scores on Joonas Korpisalo. Mackenzie Blackwood is not in. This is why we brought in Korpisalo, because Bishop was rocky. Time for Korpisalo to prove that he was worth the pickup. 20 minutes left in regulation of this series. We're up by 2, make it 3. Dylan Strome. Power play for the Wild goes to waste. Can we somehow fight back and fend off this team that looked like they had us dead in the water? The Chicago Blackhawks stared down the barrel of adversity and lived to tell the tale. We survive. And we are going to the Western Conference Final. Nearly speechless. I have never seen a team go from firing on all cylinders to just disappearing and then somehow surviving that situation and winning on, at the end of the day. Unbelievable. Now, obviously, questions have to be answered. 2 in particular by you. Well, maybe not by you. 1 in particular by you, and that is, technically now with these 2 wins, we'd have 2 vetoes. Again, do we have 3, technically? Or do we just have the 2? Do they carry over? And the question this game has to answer is how long is Mackenzie Blackwood out for? Although I guess you could answer that as well. Does he deserve a contract at this point? Is Blackwood out long term? Yes, he is. Hamstring injury for Blackwood. He is out for the month, essentially. We will be going into our Western Conference final matchup with Joonas Korpisalo or Ben Bishop. And I think Korpisalo, off the back of that performance, at least gets the chance to succeed. But Mackenzie Blackwood is out. As much as that absolutely sucks. But mixing and matching paid off. Again, we live to see another day. 2 series wins down, 2 to go. I look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comments after one wild-ass series. Again, we play Colorado. The Battle of Pennsylvania is going to happen on the other side in the conference final. I will see you in the next one where we will sim these series and find out what goes down. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, you know the deal. Or if you did, you know the deal. Support the video, support the channel. Leave a like, subscribe if you have not already done so. I would greatly appreciate it. Check out everything in the description as well if you haven't already done so. All the socials, Twitch, and of course Patreon. And shout out to those patrons over on Patreon. I love you all. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Stay inside if you can. I will see you in the next one.